Hotel, hotel. Good evening. It's something that I'm going to talk about shortly, and I always like to present to the audience and my friends and my family about certain types of information that is very powerful that we all have experienced all our lives, and that's the seasons. The ancient Kemet or the ancient Africans knew that the seasons, the earth, the sun, the stars always gave us insights and always spoke to us in many different ways. And of course, we have four seasons. We have spring, we have summer, we have fall, and we have winter. Each of those seasons carry a message. It tells you about what time it is. And now that we are in the sign Aries, which represent what you call a cardinal sign, I'm going to quickly say that what has been told and said about astrology needs to be more in depth. And what we have heard a lot of times is more commercial. But when we speak of astrology and we speak of the so-called signs, the signs actually represents 12 different aspects of human experience. Aries, Taurus, Gemini. We all, as human beings, will experience the signs because they represent messages and they represent different experiences that we all are going to engage in some time in our life. Of course, when you get what you call a chart done, then you will see the different aspects of how astrology works. So, in terms of the seasons, we will use terms from an ancient standpoint that deals with what you call active and recessive, or yin and yang. And now, since we are in the sign of Aries, which means the beginning, each sign also has a quality. And so Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn represents beginnings. When we talk about the signs also from another standpoint, it means the earth in relation to the sun is at a particular angle as it goes around. This is the sun, this is the earth going around. When it hits this angle, it's called Aries. When it hits this angle, it's called Taurus. When it hits this angle, it's called Gemini. So when it goes around the 360-degree circle, it creates what we call the seasons. And again, when it's here, the beginning of spring is called Aries. And then when it's here, it's the beginning of summer, which is called Cancer. When it's here, it's the beginning of fall, which is called Libra. And here is called winter, which is the beginning of Capricorn. So the season represent more than quote unquote what they say signs. And the soul will come down at a particular time, at a particular place, into a particular energy, which is a sign, because that means what that sign represents is what that soul is supposed to experience to learn particular lessons. And when you talk about the seasons then include what the lessons are at a particular time. When we talk about spring, we're talking about beginnings. When we talk about spring, we're talking about going forward. And that's what's associated with the sign Aries. And we all as individuals have beginnings. We have beginnings in our life where we start and we do this and we do that. We have times when we have to overcome, and that's what spring represents, overcoming particular things. So people who are what's so-called Aries will be people that would need to overcome particular things in their lives and master particular things. So with the 12 signs then, there are messages. Each of them have a message. And that we will again experience those messages. It's a lot that I want to talk about, so I'm going to kind of be quick and I'm going to come back in other series of lectures and tell you more in depth about the different signs, about numerology, about reflexology, about metaphysics in itself. I've studied for many years, and so there's a lot of answers that I have came to and understanding I've came to, in that the reason why I'm even talking about the seasons and nature is that the messages that the nature gives you is in your face. A lot of times when we get knowledge either from someone else, which is nothing wrong with that. When we get knowledge, we get it from a book. There's nothing wrong with that. Or we may get it from a spiritual teacher. There's nothing wrong with that. But some things are so deep and so heavy that it can't be said. You have to understand it through an experience and through revelation. And so in the future, that's what I'll be talking about, the revelations that you can get through being hungry and having intent in learning the ancient secrets so that you will be in tune for having a certain type of knowledge that they're not going to teach you, because knowledge is deep in it and it's important, but nature will show you different things that's more subtle and more what you call esoteric. Esoteric means behind the scenes or secret. Esoteric means gaining knowledge that you can't get on the outside. You get it from within. And there's an affirmation that you can also speak that will give you, wake up certain things within you. One of them is help me to see what can't be seen. Okay, so when we talk about esoteric knowledge, you're to learn and understand that the things that you see on the outside mean something, but also things within and on the inside, more subtle things mean something. So when you go within, you have what you call insight. You're able to see things outside of the external eyes. You go within and see things with the third eye, things that can't be seen again on the outside. The invisible entities, spirits, ancestors, those kind of things, dreams, all that deals with help me to see what can't be seen. And then help me to hear what can't be heard. What does that mean? That means that you will be able to tune in to particular things, particular sounds, and you will gain understanding, because hearing also means, do you understand? The seasons will bring these different attributes out at different times of the year. So that's why I know it seems like I'm going to another direction, but I'm still, this stick with me, because when we talk about esoteric knowledge, and I told you what the seasons will reveal to you, you will be able to understand things outside of what a book says. Just simple things when you get up in the morning and you see the sunrise, you see how it will speak to you, not verbally all the time, but you find out that in life, you will have life and things will rise and grow. And then during a period of time, it reaches a height, then it goes down, up, and then down. So that is a circle. And the secret to that is when we speak of life and we speak of death, when we arise and when we are born, we rise and we grow. And then we reach a certain level, a certain height. And then at that peak, we come down. And that's what life is all about. And that manifests from day to day. You get up in the morning, you awaken. You were asleep. You get up in the morning and you rise and you do whatever your activities are. And then after that, you feel tired or you feel sleepy and you go within. Every time you go to sleep, there's a certain type of death. And then after that period of time, you open your eyes and you become alive again. You go up to that peak and then you go down. So you see the cycle. And so nature shows you the cycle. Your body shows you that cycle. So it is for me to show you and connect you to things that's right in your face, but you don't see it. And that's how we become somewhat disenchanted, or that's how we at times become discouraged, because this knowledge that we should know is so simple and so deep and so complex that we don't even look at it. For you to breathe, when you breathe in, life comes. When you exhale, that's death. When you take in and you eat your food, again, your body is teaching you something. When you take in food and you eat, you get nourishment. You take in food and life, and then you defecate, and it comes out. Comes in, comes out. And so you will see that there's a circle and cycle that manifests in life in many different ways. Seasons will show you that when the sun rises and you have sunrise and then you have the afternoon and have the dawn, that means something. It's very important. So I'm gonna make this short, right quick, and I'm going to continue later. Uh, Being able to see particular things is very important in our lives. And when what you call Mercury retrograde, I'm still going to be talking about the seasons, but there's so much I want to tell you. I have to get it in my head on how I want to tell you. So just be patient with me. But Mercury retrograde represents a time from an African standpoint when I was telling you about the seasons and the cycles and the ups and the down. Mercury retrograde means go within, retrograde. Okay. So there's a time when our minds are active or should be active consciously, the conscious mind active, but it's also a time when the mind should go within. Mercury retrograde is a time when you're supposed to go within. It's a time when the conscious mind connects with the unconscious mind. And a lot of times, what happens with that, old memories during Mercury retrograde will come back to you. Things that might have happened to you in other lives, things that might have happened to you that you thought you forgot. Because the unconscious and the subconscious is a part of you that takes in all information and it goes real deep down into your belly or the ocean of your mind. And so there are words that will express really what Mercury retrograde represents, which means that RE, whenever you're thinking about Mercury retrograde, always think about RE. Review. Review the things you have done in the last couple months. Regenerate. Make sure you get plenty of rest during Mercury retrograde. Revive. Remember. Realize. RE. Come up with any word you can with the prefix of RE, and it will be insight on what you should be doing during Mercury retrograde. Doing Mercury retrograde, during Mercury retrograde time, because it's about seasons also. That's indicative of the seasons and cycles. So my next, the next time I speak, we talked about spring, which means beginning, and this is really the new year. When spring comes, that's really New Year, not January. But that's an ancient concept also about the new year is spring. I hope I've answered or given you some knowledge and some food that you can take in. If you have any questions, just leave some questions in my comment box. And the next time I speak, I'll respond. You have a beautiful afternoon, beautiful day, beautiful night. And as I say again, I will be back soon. God bless you. Hotel.